think we're live. All right, great. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there, mothers' futures, mothers to be, everything. All right, perfect. Just opening up stuff here so that we can get ready. Oh my goodness, what a week. I was locked up inside all week. I went out today. I did. I went to the pharmacy and I got to drive. It was so great. It was so great. I was so happy. All right, guys. So you know how our mothers are very important to us, or mothers, people who we look up to as mothers, because not everybody has a mom. So I want to give out a great big thanks to everybody and sending out love and hope and safety. Hope everybody's being, safe and being careful out there. Just stay home. You know, it was interesting while I was driving today. I saw people at the park flying their kite, playing frisbee, just having a gather, rollerblading, as if it was a typical summer day. And my cousin caught me on it today. She told me not to judge people about their issues and what they're doing out there, and just to focus on what I was doing. And she's kind of right, but what kind of itches me is that the government goes on TV every single day and complains about how we keep getting these rises of cases and deaths and this, that, and the other, but it's because people aren't doing what they ask. And people, yeah, I understand staying home all the time is annoying and this, that, and the other. You can kill the person and the people that you're living in your house with, but right now this is something that none of us has ever lived through or experienced. So we have to kind of listen to the government in a sense, and I don't know, it's complete chaos in grocery stores every single day, as I've been told, and I don't know. Anyways, aside from that, thank you to all the moms out there, and you guys have been strong. You guys carried us into your bellies for 9 months. So I heard that when you have a child inside of you, you're all over the place. You have all these smelling problems, and you can't smell fish. You can't eat certain foods, or you crave certain foods. Like they show in the movies, people eating pickles with ice cream. I'm not sure if that's a real craving, but I'm not too sure if I would try that one because I'm not a fan of pickles. My mom, she would drink a ton of tomato juice. She told me that she would drink it every day, multiple times a day. But now me as a person, I don't like tomato juice. I hate the smell, I hate the taste. But I don't know, that's what apparently I liked when I was inside of her. Maybe I just had enough of it. And so let's go to some of the homework that we were talking about. You know how we were talking about questions about, some or one or two things that you have some issues with, talking about someone that you chose, like I said, intimate or not, but not really family. So have you thought about those fears, those things that you didn't want to talk about with them? Put it in the comments, let me know, and let me see what you guys came up with. For me, since I don't see anybody talking right now, I'll just give you a little bit of my answers, I guess. So for me, there's things that I'm afraid to tell people close around me. I don't really have one specific person. It's multiple people. I have a problem telling people when I'm in need, or if I need something, or I don't know, if I'm having a trouble, I don't really talk about those things. And I've learned over time that it's gotten me not in trouble, but I dug myself a hole that I didn't get out of. So I've been learning to be open about those things. And some people are accepting listening or accepting giving advice, and some people are just oh, okay, I hope you feel better, So everybody has their own opinions. Everybody has their own ways of talking and dealing with certain things. Because, yeah, sometimes, my I don't know. I call it a burden, but some people don't call it a burden. But for me, I call it a burden. So let's see. No. All right. Let's see if anybody else has anything to say. So far, it's pretty open. So, all right. If you guys want, we can go on and grab the mom stuff. We can go on and talk about those 5 questions that I was talking about, where I was saying, ask your mom 5 questions, and we're going to answer them, and you're going to have to guess. So let's see. I'll say we're going to start with the simple basic. Let's see if you guys know what your mom's favorite food is. Like, what does she like to eat? Like, what does she like to eat? What's her favorite meal of all time? Let's see. My mom really, really, really likes Tim Tams. And Tim Tams, they're apparently from Australia, is what we were told. And it's like a cookie about, let's say, like 2 inches long and about a centimeter thick. And it's like 2 wafers with some like mushy stuff in the middle. And like the entire cookie is coated with like a layer of chocolate. So what these cookies are meant to do is to bite off the top of the cookie, like just a wee bit, and then flip it around, do the same thing so that you have like access to both of the cookie. And the next thing you do is, like, some people drink coffee, chocolate milk, or like hot chocolate, or just regular milk. And I wouldn't do it with water. I don't think it would taste really good. And then you put it inside the cup and you drink it as if it's straw. But whatever you're drinking gets all of that nice chocolate stuff in the middle, and it just tastes so amazing. And then your cookie is like kind of mushy, and then you bite it, and it's just heaven. So that's my mom's favorite food. And and then my next question would be, what was your mom's craziest like high school thing that she did? Like, my mom had tons of stories, so that's why I want to know if you guys have parents as well that did some crazy things in high school. Let's see what you guys have to say in the comments. All right, let's take a look here. Well, so I don't see anything. I guess I'll just share some of my stuff, and maybe later on people will start sharing and not being so shy about it. Well, my mom was a huge prankster, her and her friends. So this one time they didn't want to like do an exam. Obviously, who likes exam in high school, right? So her and her friends, they went down into the basement where the generators was, and like all of the heaters and the furnaces and stuff. And they decided to, do you know the fart spray that we used to have in high school at the joke store? So they took it and they sprayed all of the furnaces and heaters and everything with it. And within an hour or so, my mom told me that the entire school stank like a fart, and they had to evacuate the entire building. Mind you, my mom went to a school where there was like 6,000 students. And she told me that there was students all over the place, and it stunk so bad. So that was a really good one that she did. But I think her all-time favorite one was her and a couple of her friends. They were like really close to one of the teachers, and they brought the teacher down into the basement, and they taped him to a chair and then left him in the basement and locked the door. And they said that he was in there for 3 hours, and another teacher found him. But what the funny thing was, they didn't get suspended, they didn't get expelled, like nothing happened. He just laughed it off. And good old 70s. I'll miss those times, but probably right now those kids probably get arrested, and there'd be a whole slew of criminal charges and this, that, and the other. Probably a teacher would probably go through some therapy. Actually, it wouldn't be a good thing maybe now. I didn't think about it. But hey, we're not in the 70s, we're 2020. All right, let's think of another question. Let's see. What is, here, this one is super typical, super original. What is your mom's favorite color? Some people have them, some people don't. So let's see if your moms do. Put some in the comments and let me know what you guys have to say about it. Because my mom doesn't have a favorite color. But if she preferred to wear color, as she says, she would prefer to wear her birthstone. And her birthstone is somewhat of blue. So I guess you can say she likes the color blue. That's all right. So my mom likes blue. What about your parents? Let me know what they like and we can share and giggle about it. All right, so that's question number 3. Now, question number 4. Okay, so I don't know if this happened with any of you and like your parents and stuff, but like in Italian households, like parents always had like a weapon of choice. Like, oh, or some people, used the belt. I don't have a belt, but some people had a belt. My parents, they had whips. So how about you tell me, what was your parents' favorite thing to do to punish you? Like, would they send you to your room, take away your iPod? Maybe iPods didn't exist back then. Maybe she didn't let you go out to your friends on a Friday night after school and you worked super hard. I don't know. Tell me right below in the comments. Let me know what your parents did to you when you did something wrong. All right, and now question number 5. All right, so this one, I don't know if it's personal. Maybe not. But when was your mom's first kiss? I know my mom talks about it all the time. She's still friends with the guy. It's hilarious. They're all friends and families and stuff. So let me know when your mom was first kissed. And you know what? Let me know if it was to your dad or not. Even if it wasn't, it's okay. It's fine. I'm just super curious to know. So let me know. Write it in the comments. Write it in the chat. I'm super excited to see what you guys have to say about it. All right. So now that we covered all the 5 questions, we went a little bit over the homework. If anybody has anything else to say or add or comment about what we just discussed, you can let me know. Write in the comments, write in the chat. I'm super here to open. Or you can also find me on Instagram. Both channels or Instagram pages will be linked down also below the video after it's saved. And now let's get right into it. Okay, so some people have parents that are still together, and some people still have parents that are divorced. So let's just say, like, what do your parents do? Like, did you grow up with your parents? Did you grow up with like 2 different households? Were you in communications with your parents? Were you adopted? Did you grow up in a foster home? Like, there's so many cases out there. I want to know what did you guys go through? I'm super curious because I grew up with divorced parents, and I don't know, it was weird. A lot of things I didn't understand, and a lot of things that I went through. I wish that like other kids around me had parents that were divorced, so that maybe we can understand together. But most kids I went to school with, their parents were together, or some of their parents passed away. God bless their soul. So everybody experienced different things. So I would like to know, if you grew up with your parents, what was it like? Like, what was it like living with like both people down your neck, with like in one household? And what about you guys out there who grew up with divorced parents? Like, what was it like living in like 2 houses? Like, how was it having like 2 Christmases and 2 birthdays and 2 this and 2 that? Like, were you happy? Were you sad? Did you like traveling back and forth all the freaking time? Like, I don't know, my dad lived 5-6 hours away. So like when he was involved in our life, like we were always in the car driving here and going there and doing these things. We were like always everywhere. So it was interesting. I would always ask myself all of these questions of like, why? Like, I don't get it. Or like, why do I have to stay in a hotel on the weekend? Like, there was all of these curious things. So I wonder if people who like have parents that are both together compared to people who like don't have parents or don't have parents like together or whatever, like, do you believe that you would grow up, do you think you would have like a different, like, would you think you'd be different now if you grew up differently? Like, I don't know. I think we're kind of like going off track right here and talking about those things, but I'm super curious. Let me know. We can discuss it maybe in like further episodes. We can talk about divorced parents, parents together, adoption, going through. Sorry, I had a blank. Group homes. So I'm really curious to talk about all these different subjects with you guys and see like what you guys have to think about it. Because I know people don't really talk about these things. I know they would say it's taboo, but you know what? I want to be that taboo. So share with me. All right, you know what? Let's go to the next thing. I'm just gonna take a sip of water here. I'm sorry, I love my Starbucks reusable cup. It's amazing. Like, I drink like sometimes 8 to 10 of these a day. I don't know. I'm a water fiend, so I also brought another bottle just in case. Anyways, okay, so let's see. So other than that, do we have any other parents out there? Are there parents right now who currently have children? And let's see, while you have your children, do you catch yourself doing things that your parents did to you? Like say certain things or do certain acts and you catch yourself actually saying or doing those things? Write in the chat, write in the comments below, let me know, and we can discuss it. And maybe in another episode, we can have an episode about it. It'd be super interesting. What else? What else have you guys noticed from, let's say, growing up with your mom and having your own child? Like, do you appreciate your parent like a whole lot more, or you never even thought about that? Maybe I'm sorry to bring that up, but have you ever thought about like those things? I always wondered. Like, I don't have children of my own. Maybe one day. I love children like like hands down. I love them. They're the cutest little things, and they smell so like baby. I don't know. It's just so weird. But what I like about it is at the end of the day, I can give it back to their parent, and then like I don't know. I guess because I like my sleep in the morning, and apparently children like to wake you up super super early, and that's not something that I kind of like. I never liked waking up for school or work super early, so I guess I would have to try. I don't know. God hasn't blessed me with that gift yet, so maybe one day. All right. This is another subject that is going to be touchy-feely. Like I mentioned to you, my mom's parents, they had a whip. So in our family, abuse from parent to child was there. It also happened from my parents to this. They didn't think it's abuse. They just thought it was like punishment and like, learning how to make a lesson and things like that. But sorry, but still abuse, hands down to it. But I was wondering, like, have you guys stopped that? Did you guys realize the cycle and you saw it from your family, and did you stop it? Did you continue it? Do you catch yourself in the moment? I know this is like a crazy subject. Like, I don't want to call the police on anybody. Like, I don't want to call no social services or anything like that. This is not my point. This is not like why I'm talking about it. It's because me, I realized that if I do, and when I have children, let's say, like, I don't want to do those things that my grandparents did to my mom, or what my mom like did to me. Like, my dad really didn't do much because like my dad was there, but like not really there. But anyways, okay, it's another subject for another day. But I don't want to do those things. And like, I would hear stories of like what my grandparents did to my mom, and like that's really like messed up. And like, I'm so shocked of like how strong my mom is now, and like how far she's become, and like all of these things. And like, she doesn't let that like affect her. She doesn't let that like stop her and do her things. And she doesn't like sit in it and, oh, woe is me, I was abused. She doesn't talk about it at all. It's like she literally shoved it under the rug. And I told her, like, you have to talk about it eventually. But she's like, you know what, I'll just tell you. So she just told me, like, this is what happened. And like, so we just had like, like a good one-on-one talk, and she's like, this is what it is. And you know what? I don't want to talk about it anymore. I've moved on. I've done this, I've done that. And so I was wondering, how about you guys? Do you believe that it's a good thing to break cycles of abuse, or do you believe that it's a good thing to continue it? Do you believe that having this abuse as a child made you who you are today? Do you think that maybe it affected you negatively? Did it affect you positively? I don't know. Let me know. Maybe if your parent is there beside you, like, I'm sorry to like make it seem, like a subject that's very touchy, sometimes, but you know what? It's the truth, and that's the whole point of this channel, is to talk about true things that actually happen that we don't talk about. So, you know what? Some parents can deny it, like my mom does. She denies all the time. But you know what? Not all the time, but when I did talk about it when I was much younger, trying to understand like why she did what she did. But I've learned that, you know what? She is who she is, and I am who I am. But everyone's different, and parents different. Like there's no book, like there's no manual saying, you know what, hey, this is how to be a parent. Like it's a go by law, because every baby's different, every relationship is different. So like you just gotta wing it. I guess being a parent is just about winging it, and let's just say, sometimes when you're winging it, we all have things that like we regret or that we don't regret. And let's say, you're growing up and your parent only knows what they know, right? Like they don't know a whole bunch more than what they did at that time. So what I was trying to say about that is, when let's say if you're a teenager or whatever, if you did something to your parent, like steal their like silver coins, for example. I did that. I stole my mom's silver coins and handed them out to people at school because I wanted friends. Like I didn't I know it sounds so silly, but like that's what I did. So do you have things that you regret doing to your parents? And if you do, write them in the comments, write them in the chat. I would love to talk about them because I did a whole slew of them. Like I remember being in like the first grade and just being like suspended all the time for just doing the most utmost, dumbest, ridiculous thing. But you know what's the craziest thing is that like I was on the honor roll. It's because school with me was so easy. So like I would be done my books, I would be done all my homework, all my this, and I'd have nothing to do. So I'd just pick on people and do this and go off school property and like play with people and do these things and run around. And it just drove my mom crazy because when I got suspended, I had to stay home. For me, it was like, okay. But for my mom, she couldn't work. So I didn't really understand that at that age. So me, while I was younger, I wish I would have been like a kind of a little bit better, more student. I would have just, shut the fuck up. But as you all know me shutting up sometimes in the classroom doesn't help because I'm very interactive and I love to learn. I love to ask questions. I just love talking and debating and just, I don't know. That's just who I am. So tell me in the comments or in the chat, let me know if you guys have anything that you regret doing to your parents growing up. Let's see, what else could we talk about being our parents while we're here? Okay, so how about some touchy-feely subjects? Both of my parents are living, and I know some people out there, they're not. So I was wondering, are there things that you wish that you could tell them? Like, how I was talking about the question about during the week, how I said not to really think of a family member. But now, in regards to this subject, I'm actually very curious to hear what, do you guys have any things that you would like to say or that you had any fears to talk about to that person that is no longer here? I would really, really, really love to know. Write them in the comments or in the chat. I would love to talk about it. And if you don't want to talk about it publicly, not a problem. Find me on Instagram. You can send me, they call it a DM, or I don't know, direct message. Just inbox me. And I would be more than lovely to listen and to discuss with you and see what you have to say. I would love to, console you and listen. And, sometimes that's what people need, just to listen. And, it's not why can't it be free? So I just want to let you know out there that it's free. Or maybe if you want to share it publicly, if you don't mind, you can share it, and maybe somewhere else out in the world can, come together with you, and you both can talk about things that you went through, and maybe that's a network, that's some sort of a support. You never know. So share. I'd love to hear about it. I'm sorry, I need another sip of water. Okay. So, you know how I was talking about in my channel how it's a little bit about shame and guilt, a little bit in these topics. So, I want to bring up a little bit of shame and guilt, some biggest regret you've done as a parent, if you are a parent, like if you have children or something. Like for an example, on Sex and the City, Charlotte says that she goes into the closet just to be away from the baby. So does anybody else go through things like that? Does anybody go through experiences where like they can't take it anymore, they don't know what to do, and they need to go outside or go into another room and just leave the child there? My mom used to put my brother outside in the balcony and close the door. And like we had some really good like balcony doors, so like once the door was shut, like you didn't hear nothing. So she would just let him cry to sleep. It sounds really bad, but my brother was a crier. So having one kid, me, who apparently never cried, well, what else is new? To a baby that cried all the time, no matter when. So, maybe I would understand. I don't know what to do. Like baby's crying all the time, like it must drive you crazy. Like, do you guys wear earplugs? What do you guys do? Like, do you put a susie in the baby's mouth? Do you give it a bottle? Do you try to put it to sleep? I don't think you try to put it to sleep while it's crying. Oh, some solid question. Oh my god. Can I do a duh Homer moment? Yeah, think about that. Let me know. And all right, let's see. Now, you know what I was talking about before, if there was anything like you kind of regretted about like, doing to your parents, stuff like that. Have you right here? Oh, yeah. All right. So let's say you are willing enough right now at this day today. Maybe not. And if you're not ready, it's okay. Have you done anything that your parents don't know about? And well, maybe now that you don't mind that they know about. When I was younger, I didn't want my mom to know about a whole ton of things. Now, I don't know. I tell her. I don't really care. So, do you guys have any things? I'm curious to know. Let me know. Write it in the comments. Well, today's going to be an easy 30-minute show because it is Mother's Day, and I wanted to spend some time relaxing and, just like not doing much. So, what I wanted to say. So, next Sunday is going to be May 17th. And next weekend is another long weekend. So next weekend is the Queen's birthday. Excusez-moi. So we all celebrate her birthday on that weekend. Excuse me, a little bit more British will be coming out. Don't take any offense, any British people out there. I'm really sorry. I'm a quarter British, and I've been practicing. Please don't take offense. I will just speak my regular language now. I think I just awkwarded myself out. All right, guys. Next weekend, we will talk about, I guess we could talk about, I'm going to call it the theme, it's called royalty. On royalty, meaning is that if you and in your relationship, do you guys have any, like, one's better than the other? Do you guys play those roles? Are you guys equal? Do you guys, do things equally? Or is it one does more than the other? What's it like in your relationship? I'm super curious to know. I'm wondering, how does other people, I don't know how to say this. I'm curious to learn about other people because that's how I learn about humans and interacting. And I also like learning about myself while watching other people and learning from other people. So if you'd like to share, great, go right ahead. So next Sunday, we'll be talking about that stuff, and I'm super excited. And the question for this week will be, it has nothing to do with our parents, and it has nothing to do with that. But is there anything in your life that you have regretted, doing? In a relationship, though. Like, you have to be in a relationship. And did you ever do something that you regretted? So as a question, I want everybody to think about, because I'm gonna think about it. Kind of got a few, I think. I was like really, really, really young, so I'd love to share. So next week, get all ready. We're gonna come back and discuss this. So I hope everybody has a great night. Happy Mother's Day to all, and to all a good night. And have a great work week. I know some people are going back to work soon. Apparently, like, school's opening up soon, so we'll just see how it goes. I know starting tomorrow, real estate opens again, so that means hopefully we can start working and get things on the roll. Got an exam to do, get all that done. The interior design is already like finished. I don't have to worry about that school. Real estate school is finished. I just have the real estate exam to do for my license. Super exciting. Yeah. So anyways, I hope everybody has a good night. Toodaloo, toodaloo, and we will talk soon. If anybody has any comments or queries, just let me know. Thanks. Have a good night.